Why is dribbling so hard when running? The difference between losing the basketball when running and keeping great control over it every single time you dribble is a matter of just a few simple tweaks that I'm gonna give you in this video, and you can add them to your game instantly and see a difference. So if you're losing the basketball when you're dribbling it in front of you, or maybe you're hitting your feet, or maybe you're just flat out losing the basketball when you try to stop, I'm gonna give you tweaks for all those things and drills to master those tweaks so you don't lose the basketball anymore when you're running. So the first thing is, when you're running and dribbling the basketball, a lot of players, they kind of just push the basketball and they don't really know what to do with it to get it from going flying in front of them, right? Well, a simple thing that you could do, a simple tweak, is when you shoot the basketball, you think about releasing and trying to hit a specific target, right? And because of that, you might not always make the shot, but you're gonna get pretty close to the rim usually, right? Well, what if we take that same tip and apply it to your dribbling? And that's the thing that'll instantly change your ability to keep control of the basketball when you're running, is just think about a shooting release on the release of that dribble and trying to hit a specific point. So now you know that the basketball is going to end up where you want it to be, and you can keep control over it, right? You don't have it go flying on you. So if you're moving like full speed, I would say you'd want to get the basketball a good arm's length in front of you, maybe a little bit further. And if you're moving more like a half speed, I would say about elbows distance in front of you, just extending it out that much should be good. So one thing you could do as a drill to work on this is find an intersection. So I could use this intersection right here, and I could just come back behind the three-point line, and I'm just gonna run and try to hit that intersection, right? It's like aiming for a target like the hoop. Do it with the left hand, and do it with the right hand. Try to keep control over the basketball. And if you're advanced enough, you can go all the way into a layup if you're to that point. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're aiming for something, so now you've got an indicator of what you're doing and if it's far enough, right? If you go for this intersection from here and it's too far in front of you and you can't keep up with it, then you know you need to make something a little closer. So maybe you could set a cone up back here, or pick an intersection that's a little bit closer, or take a step in just to get the feel for it and get practice. And then as you get better, you can work on pushing it out further and getting to it. And one of the biggest tweaks I can give you is when you're releasing the basketball and you're dribbling it more in front of you, is just to make sure you're getting plenty of wrist flick. Sometimes I'll focus on getting my fingers, trying to point them all the way back towards me. So my arm's out here, but I'm pointing my fingers back towards me. What that'll do is direct the basketball either straight down or slightly back. And you can, variate how much you're putting of that wrist flick on. If you want to push it out further because you're really fast and you're on a fast break, then don't flick that wrist quite as much. But just adjusting that wrist flick is one of the biggest things when you're dribbling out in front of you, to keep it in an area where you can keep up with the basketball and get good control over it. One problem that might happen though, if you're getting used to dribbling out here, is maybe you're gonna run and hit your feet. Right? That's not something we're looking to do. And in game situations, putting the ball way out here, a lot of times it's gonna put it right where a defender can steal it, right? Not a good habit to get in. So what you would wanna do is also work on dribbling to your side, okay? So that way, when you're moving, if the ball's on your side, it's closer to you so you can protect it with your hand from defenders, and you shouldn't be hitting your feet because it's not going right in front of your feet. Simple thing you can do to work on this is get a line, keep your body on one side and the basketball on the other, and just work on dribbling the basketball on that side of the line. So that'll get you in the habit of doing it. Of course, you want to do everything with both hands. So left hand, and then right hand. Simple enough, but it'll really help you improve on that side of things, and you won't hit your feet, and you won't get the ball stolen from defenders as much. And then once you got that done, then maybe work on trying to dribble a little more in front of you. So you might want to switch the order of these depending on what's more comfortable for you with these first 2 drills. But the next drills are really going to help you with being more effective with stopping, changing directions, crossovers while running, things like that. Next big thing that happens with a lot of players is crossovers. They'll try to do a crossover and the ball will go flying on them. Right, and they can't get back to it because it comes way out here. Another thing that'll happen though with a lot of players is when they're going into their crossovers, they're gonna hit that leg, that offside leg, right? Or maybe even the same side leg. Either way, not something we want to do. Now, an easy fix for this, really simple, is think about when you're doing crossovers stationary. It's easy, right? You can't hit your legs really because they're staying put. They're all in one spot. What makes it hard when you're running is that your legs are moving, right? But if you watch even the best NBA players, there's gonna be a brief pause when they go into their crossover. So even if they're running full speed, they're gonna plant hard, crossover, and then change direction. This back leg might move a little bit, but it'll usually be back far enough where it won't get in the way. So if you're pushing the ball slightly forward, that'll eliminate that. But one other big tip I've got for you is to focus on the timing. So when you're gonna cross over, usually whichever hand is dribbling, that same side foot is gonna stop. So focus on foot stop, then cross over. And a simple thing you can do to work on this is just go down the court and back, focusing on that. So foot stop, crossover, foot stop, crossover. Doing that all the way down. And then all the way back. Foot stop, crossover. Foot stop, crossover. Focus on that timing in your head, and that should eliminate that issue. And the more you get repetitions in, the more it'll become habit, so it doesn't happen in games anymore. One other thing that gives a lot of players problems with losing the basketball is when they're stopping. A lot of times maybe you stop and the basketball keeps going, right? And that becomes a problem. Maybe you don't completely lose it, but it gets the ball stolen, or you don't get really good control over it, right? So you can go into a shot or a pass or whatever it is you're looking to do. So one simple tweak I've got for you on this is to focus on where you're dribbling the basketball. When you stop, a lot of times what's gonna happen is the ball's gonna come too far forward, right? We know this because it's probably happened a couple times. So if that's the problem, all you need to do is focus on pushing the basketball either straight down or even slightly back. That'll keep the basketball from going way out here, and even if it does get a little out of control, at least it's away from your defender, right? So you don't have to worry about them stealing it. So a simple drill you can do is use the free throw line, really any line, and all you want to do is dribble up to it, body in front, ball behind, kind of like we did walking before, but we're going to stop, right? Stop. Okay, just like that, and we do the same thing with the other hand. Okay, simple thing you can do to get that side of things down so you don't hit your feet, you don't have the basketball going way out in front of you, and defenders stealing it, any of that stuff. So for some players, even just stationary dribbling gives them a problem, right? Dribbling in place, they lose the basketball. And there's actually some simple tweaks for why some players find dribbling hard and why some players find it easy. And if you just simply work on the tweaks I'm gonna give you in this YouTube video and the drills I'm gonna give you in that video, you can instantly see an improvement on that side of things. So you're good with stationary ball handling and, well, on the move. Click the like button, the subscribe button, the bell icon, and I'll see you in that video next.